rattlesnakes are all over Texas, and I thought it's unusual to see an ASMR video with a rattlesnake rattle, and this is a genuine rattlesnake rattle from Texas. So I thought it would be fun to talk about rattlesnakes and to hear the sound that this rattle makes. Rattlesnakes are found generally in the United States and in Mexico and in South America. Scientists think that there are at least 30 different species of rattlesnakes. 2 of these species are endangered due to habitat loss and hunting. Now, some scientists say that the rattlesnakes are just misunderstood, and they are an important role in the food chain, both as predators to small mammals and as prey to larger predators, and I'm sure that they are true. But to me, rattlesnakes are dangerous, and if one threatens me or my family, it gets the shovel, which is our tool of choice when disposing of a snake. This particular rattle came from a rattlesnake that my grandfather ran over in his car many decades ago when my dad was in the car with him as a boy. And after running over it, I think he decided, well, might as well put it to use. So he saved it, and it's been in the family ever since. Rattlesnakes are unique from other snakes in that they have this rattle on the end of their tail that they use to ward off predators. They will shake this rattle, hold their tail up and vibrate it, and it is a terrifying sound, so it is no surprise that it does ward off predators. It's made of keratin, which is the same material that hair, and skin, and nails are made out of. When a rattlesnake grows out of its skin, as reptiles do, it molts and sheds its skin. And when it does that, it grows a new segment on the end of its rattle. It's difficult anyway to tell the age of a rattlesnake based on its rattle. It's not like a tree where you can count the rings, because occasionally a rattlesnake rattle breaks off a segment, so it's not particularly reliable. So like I said, when it wants to ward off predators, it holds this rattle up on the end of its tail and it shakes it like this. The most common rattlesnakes in North America, which is the area that I live, is the timber rattlesnake, the canebrake rattlesnake, the eastern diamondback, the western diamondback, the Mojave rattlesnake, the southern Pacific rattlesnake, the northern Pacific rattlesnake, the Grand Canyon rattlesnake, the midget faded rattlesnake, the tiger rattlesnake, the Great Basin rattlesnake, the prairie rattlesnake, the black-tail rattlesnake, the pygmy rattlesnake, the eastern Massasauga rattlesnake, the sidewinder, the mottled rock rattlesnake, the banded rock rattlesnake, the Arizona ridge-nosed rattlesnake, the New Mexico ridge-nosed rattlesnake, and the twin spotted rattlesnake. here in Texas, the 6 types that are common here are the western diamondback, the timber rattlesnake, the banded rock rattlesnake, the blacktail rattlesnake, the Mojave rattlesnake, and the prairie rattlesnake. Generally, we just call them all rattlesnakes. Now there's 3 species that are facing threats currently from habitat loss and hunting. One is the Santa Catalina rattlesnake, which is on an island generally off the coast of California. And the other 2 are in Mexico. I'm going to try to pronounce this. Tansataran dusky rattlesnake and the long-tailed rattlesnake. Like I said, both of those are in Mexico. Now, the rattlesnake fangs are hollow and sharp. They're like a hypodermic needle, and they're filled with venom, or rather they lead to a venom sac, which contains the venom, and they're hinged, so they lay flat against the roof of a rattlesnake's mouth. And when the rattlesnake opens its mouth, the fangs will swing open, perpendicular, ready to bite. There are 3 pairs of replacement fangs that are behind a rattlesnake fangs, similar to how a shark has teeth behind its teeth. Now, a rattlesnake can strike at a speed of 0.5 of a second. So, if you see one and it's shaking its tail at you, the best course of action is to run in the opposite direction, because they are quick. Like I said, their fangs contain venom, which immobilize and disable prey. It also contains a digestive enzyme that helps to break down tissue before the rattlesnake eats its prey. About 7,000 to 8,000 people are bitten every year, in the United States anyway, but only about 5 of those bites lead to death. So only about 1% of rattlesnake bites end in death. So although they are venomous, there are ways to, there's antivenoms for it. But all rattlesnake bites should warrant an immediate trip to the hospital, because the amount of time that elapses in between getting bit by a rattlesnake and seeking medical care, that can mean the difference between life and death. Because most deaths occur between 6 and 48 hours after the bite. So if you're able to get there within 6 hours, you're pretty much golden. Because if you get the antivenom treatment within that period, or within 2 hours really, then the probability of recovery is like 99%. So get the antivenom within 2 hours of getting bit, and your chances of survival are 99%. About 20% of the time when you get bit by a rattlesnake, it's non-venomous. But again, don't want to take your chances, so go see a doctor. The effects of a rattlesnake bite are swelling, severe pain, tingling, and not the good kind of ASMR tingling, weakness, anxiety, nausea, and vomiting, hemorrhaging, perspiration, and sometimes heart failure. So you don't want to mess around. As predators themselves, rattlesnakes only eat when they're hungry. That's usually about every 2 weeks. Or adults do anyway. Younger rattlesnakes might eat every week. They like to hunt mice, rats, squirrels, birds, and rabbits. What's interesting, another thing I should say that's interesting about rattlesnakes, is that they hear by sensing vibrations. Like other snakes, they have an inner ear that doesn't contain an eardrum. It's connected directly to the jaw, so there's no way to detect any airborne sounds. Instead, they have to rely on feeling vibrations through their jawbone in order to hear. Another interesting fact about rattlesnakes is that they are ovoviviparous. Did I say that right? Ovoviviparous. One more time. Ovoviviparous. Which means they don't lay eggs. Which is, generally reptiles do lay eggs. Instead, females carry and incubate eggs inside their bodies for 90 days before giving birth to their young, which are live. They give birth to live young. The baby is fully developed when it is born, but it's wrapped inside a membrane that it has to puncture in order to get out and take its first breath. Breeding season is in the springtime, and females only produce about every 2 years or so. The babies also still have venom, so a freshly newborn rattlesnake baby can still kill you. Although it generally has less venom than an adult, but it does still have venom, and it is still lethal. So, still dangerous. Now let's hear that rattle one more time, huh? That's some information about rattlesnakes. I hope you enjoyed that. If you do, like this video and comment and subscribe. And come find me on Instagram where we can chat about whatever you want. And you can see behind the scenes content and stuff I find in Texas that you might enjoy looking at. Thanks for watching this video. I'll see y'all next time. Bye, friends.